What is the first generation computer? That we have to see. Okay. So generation of the computers have been seen change on the based on evolving technologies. With each new generations, computer circuitry, size, parts have been miniaturized. That means its size get reduced, the processing and speed get increased, memory get larger, memory got larger, and usability and reliability improves. Okay, so depending on that, the 5 generations of the computers are there. How many? 5 generations. First generation of the computer, which starts era of 1940 to 50, which is having vacuum tubes. काय असतं त्याच्यात? Vacuum tubes होते. First generation computer. First generation with vacuum tube. Second generation with transistor. Third generation with IC. What is the long form of IC? Information technology. IC. I am not asking IT. IC. Circuit. Integrated circuit. Integrated circuit. IC. The fourth generations came with what? Microprocessor chips. Can you give me an example of microprocessor? I-core. Yes. I-core. I-core. AMD Ryzen. Yes. AMD Ryzen is there. I-core is there. Intel. Intel is there. Exactly. अजून
वहिनी जेदा फोन आला त्याला सांगा दुसऱ्या जण फोन करा.
series of Intel microprocessors.
मोठ्यावाला सांगून द्या.
A man behind developing and designing that Intel is from IIT, now settled in San Francisco. Vinod Dha. He has designed and developed the generation of Intel microprocessor. That is the brain of computer. That came into existence into the 5th generation. Sorry, in the 4th generation. 5th generation unveiled the smart device capable of artificial intelligence. Okay? So in the first generation of the computers, what happens? They are the truly digital computers. They came in a time to replace the electromechanical system. In the first era, what happens before first generation? Computers were not completely digital. There are some parts are electronic, some parts are mechanical. And if suppose you heard the name of Charles Babbage in 1845, he has started the era of computer. He has developed one machine. That name of machine was differential engine. It was not complete the electronic. Most of the parts are mechanical. And that's why Charles Babbage, who has started the development of generating the computer, that's why he is called as father of computer, Charles Babbage. Okay. So one task was made by US Army to have a machine capable of computing artillery firing tables fast enough. So in that World War II, in 1946, actually the need was there. And from that era, that is the first generation computer starts. That is in front of you is what? This is the picture of vacuum tubes that are used in the first generation computers. The first generation computer used vacuum tubes for amplification and switching purpose. जर तुम्ही जुन्या काळातले रेडिओ बघितले असतील ट्रान्झिस्टरच्या पहिले, त्यात काय यूज व्हायचं? व्हॅक्युम ट्यूब्स. मी तो रेडिओ चालू केला की त्या व्हॅक्युम ट्यूब गरम व्हायला वेळ लागायचा, आहे की नाही? मग व्हॅक्युम ट्यूब्स मुळे काय चालू व्हायला वेळ लागायचा, आहे की नाही? The tubes were made of sealed glass containers the size of light bulbs. The sealed glass allowed current to flow wirelessly from the filaments to metal plates. So you have to remember only what? In the first generation of the computer, the vacuum tubes were used. Okay, circuitry was vacuum tubes. Okay, besides boosting of the thousands of resistors and capacitors, these computers will use anything up to over 17,000 vacuum tubes, which mean computer installations covered entire room, just like of a garage. Computerचा आकार कसा होता त्यावेळेस? गॅरेज एवढा, है की नाही? मग फर्स्ट जनरेशन कॉम्प्युटर्स मध्ये काय काय राहायचं? The interfacing with the first generation system was done using like the plug boards. यासारखे प्लग बोर्ड्स असायचे की जे तुम्हाला प्लग करायचं कुठेतरी पंच कार्डवर. ओके, सो दिस इज द actual circuitry of the first generation computers. Then they slotted in special punch cards into them and waited for hours for some form of computation. That means you have to wait for a longer time to take any output. Just like these plug boards were there, these machines were intended for low level operations. They accept only language of zeros and one. If suppose I have to write a program in zeros and one, will it be easy for me or hard? जर मला 0 आणि 1 मध्ये काही प्रोग्राम लिहायचा आहे, so it will be easy for me or it will be more hard?
More hard.
More hard. Why? Because you have to understand the language of zeros and one that understand by computer. Okay. So in that first generation computer, ENIAC was the name, electronic numerical integrator and computer, which was designed and built by engineers John Mauchly and J. Eckert in the University of Pennsylvania. Okay, its language was zeros and one. Okay, it was 1,000 times faster than the previous electromechanical computer, but was a little slow when it comes to reprogramming. Okay, so these are the things. This is the shape and size of your first ENIAC, that is the first generation computer. So these are the popular first generation computers. This is the ENIAC, this is the INSTAC, this is the IRVAC, this is the Universal Accounting and Calculator, Universal Automatic Computer, that is also developed by Mauchly and Eckert. And these are the first generation computer. When we look into the first generation computer, the size is big. It uses what? Vacuum tubes for the
लटकेला म्हणा माझं नाही.
electron emitting metal
त्या पुढच्या घरात असून मला लटकेल मला माहित नाही.
burn out easily. Just like आपण जेव्हा एखादा लाईट बघतो, लाईट मध्ये काय असते? एक टंगस्टनची तार असते, ती जोपर्यंत तापत नाही तोपर्यंत तुम्हाला प्रकाश दिसतो का? नाही. तसंच तुमच्या या व्हॅक्युम ट्यूब्स मध्ये आत अशा टंगस्टनच्या तार होत्या, त्यामुळे तो चालू केल्यावर बराच वेळ लागायचा. इट युजेस द मॅग्नेटिक ड्रम्स फॉर मेमरी. मग तुम्हाला इन्फॉर्मेशन किंवा डाटा स्टोअर कशावर करायचं होता? तर त्यात मॅग्नेटिक ड्रम्स होते. वेर ह्यूज, स्लो, एक्सपेन्सिव्ह, मेनी टाइम्स undependable. It is very expensive to operate. They take large amount of power. they generate lot amount of heat. Okay, use input based on punch card. इनपुट कशाने टाकायचे त्या कीबोर्ड होते का? नाही, पंच कार्ड होते. आउटपुट displayed in printouts. It use magnetic tapes also. So that is all about the first generation computer. These are the two scientists. They have developed the ENIAC, Hockley and Ecker. Then came in the era of the second generation computer. जेव्हा आपण बघितलं की पहिल्या जनरेशन मध्ये व्हॅक्युम ट्यूब होत्या, त्याचा आकार खूप मोठा होता, त्यात खूप खूप व्हॅक्युम ट्यूब वापरले आपण, खूप ट्रान्झिस्टर नव्हते, कॅपॅसिटन्स किंवा ती सर्किटरी खूप मोठी होती, केबल्स आणि वायर्स खूप होते. सेकंड जनरेशन कम्प्युटर केव्हा सुरू झालं? 1950 to 60, when transistor came into existence. Okay, transistors are more or less building blocks of any microchip and also more reliable, energy efficient and capable of conducting electricity faster and better. हे बघा, या ट्रान्झिस्टरचं चित्र दिसते तुम्हाला इथं. This is the transistor was used in the second generation. Just like vacuum tubes, transistors are switches or electronic gates used to amplify or control the current or switch electric signals on and off. They are called semiconductors because they contain elements which lie between conductors and insulators. Okay, so transistors, semiconductors were invented at Bell Laboratories in 1947 by scientists William Shockley, then Bardeen and Breton. These three scientists have got the Nobel Prize at that time for the generation of the transistor. Okay, for their achievement. The speed of the transistor used second generation computer was more fast than that of first generation computers. Why? Because transistors are the circuitry in that case. In the last case, we have used the vacuum tubes. They were tedious. Okay, so that job was now more easy with the help of transistors. Okay, so example of IBM 1401. IBM, have you heard the name of company IBM? IBM चं नाव ऐकलंय आपण?
Yes, yes, sir.
What is the long form? What is the long form of IBM?
International Business Machines.
Exactly. Who has given the answer?
Pranay.
Pranay? Right now? Pranay, Adnav.
Pranay Sharke.
Pranay Sheikh has given the right answer. That International Business Machine, it is a Germany-based company who actually has been started by our scientist Hermann Hollerith. Basically, that company has been started, okay, in order to just count the census. That means जेव्हा आपण जनगणना करतो की जनगणना करताना आपल्याला काय करावं लागते, प्रत्येक लोकांचं त्याचं एज काय, मेल किती, फिमेल किती, एज्युकेशन किती, दर 10 वर्षांनी जी जनगणना सेन्सस करतो आपण, त्यासाठी जनरली ते यूज करण्यासाठी त्यांनी ते शोधून काढलं. आणि त्यावेळेस त्यांनी ते शोधून काढल्यावर त्या कंपनीचं नाव काय झालं, इंटरनॅशनल बिझनेस मशीन. इंटरनॅशनल बिझनेस मशीन. त्यावेळेस पासून IBM 7094 हे कम्प्युटर आहे. आणि आता सुद्धा ही कंपनी वेगवेगळ्या क्षेत्रात हार्डवेअर मध्ये, सॉफ्टवेअर मध्ये खूप पुढे गेलेली कंपनी आहे. इंटरनॅशनल बिझनेस मशीन अलॉंग विथ मायक्रोसॉफ्ट. ओके, अलॉंग विथ मायक्रोसॉफ्ट. तो IBM IBM 7094, IBM 1401 was the computer in that second generation computer. Now we see that what happens in this second generation computer. That computer uses switch memory. That computer uses machine language or different language. What are the different languages that came into existence? Besides the development of operating system software, other commercial applications will also hitting the shelves. म्हणजे यात काय आलं सेकंड जनरेशन मध्ये ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम केम इनटू एक्झिस्टन्स. This was probably due to overall upgrade from restrictive binary based machine coding language to the language which is supported by symbols and alphanumeric coding. यात कुठली लँग्वेज आली? न्यूमॉनिक कोड्स किंवा असेंबली लँग्वेज. ओके, बिकॉज assembler came into existence and high level languages like Fortran, COBOL, STOBOL, BASIC that came into existence in 1964. That is the second generation computer. म्हणजे Fortran याचं लॉंग फॉर्म काय? तर फॉर्म्युला ट्रान्सलेशन्स. COBOL, COBOL, commercial business oriented language. What is the long form of BASIC? Who can tell me? कोण सांगेल मला? What is the long form of COBOL? आता सांगितलं मी तुम्हाला. या सेकंड जनरेशन कॉम्प्युटर मध्ये instead of machine language you have to use the assembly language because assembler came into existence. Along with that, computer programs are written in languages like Fortran, COBOL, BASIC, STOBOL. All these languages are called as high level language now. म्हणजे टर्मिनॉलॉजी काय चेंज झाली? मशीन लँग्वेजच्या ऐवजी तुम्हाला कुठली लँग्वेज यूज व्हायला लागली? हाय लेवल लँग्वेज. हाय लेवल लँग्वेज म्हणजे काय? की तुम्ही जो प्रोग्राम लिहितात त्यात इंग्लिश लाईक स्टेटमेंट्स वी आर युजिंग. Our C language is also high language. C++ is also high language. Java is also high language. Whatever language nowadays we are using are high level language. But what is the problem of that high level language? It is not understandable to computer. In order to understand to computer, that high level language written programs has to convert into machine language with the help of one system software, and that system software is called as compiler. म्हणून आपण काय म्हणतो कंपायलरला? सिस्टम सॉफ्टवेअर. म्हणजे सेकंड जनरेशन मध्ये काय आलं? Fortran, COBOL, STOBOL and BASIC. Beginners, all purpose, symbolic, instruction code. That is the long form of BASIC. What is the long form of COBOL? Commercial business oriented programming language. Formula translation. That is the Fortran. Pascal was there. Then came the characteristics of second generation. Second generation चे काय characteristics आहे मग? त्यात ट्रान्झिस्टर यूज होते. फास्टर अँड मोर रिलायबल दॅन फर्स्ट जनरेशन. त्याची साईज कमी झाली, चीपर झालं आणि फास्टर झालं. त्याच्यात जनरेटेड होणारी हीट कमी होती. ओके, स्टील रिलाइड ऑन पंच कार्ड्स अँड प्रिंटआउट्स फॉर इनपुट अँड आउटपुट. इनपुट साठी पंच कार्डच यूज होतं याच्यातही आणि आउटपुट साठी प्रिंट आउट. अलाउड असेंब्ली अँड हाय लँग्वेज. यात कोणत्या कोणत्या लँग्वेज आल्या? असेंब्ली आणि हाय लेवल लँग्वेज. स्टोअर डाटा ऑन वॉट? मॅग्नेटिक मीडिया. दे आर स्टील कॉस्टली. they need air conditioning. ओके, यात ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम आणि असेंब्ली लँग्वेजचं इंट्रोडक्शन झालं. ओके, दिस इज द सेकंड जनरेशन. लाईक दॅट यू ऑब्झर्व ऑन this IBM 7094 computer. Now, these are the few examples of second generation computer. Honeywell company होती, IBM होती, Univac होती, CDC होती. Okay, all these are the examples. Then came the era of 1960 to 70. That is the era of integrated circuits and multi-program. Era of IC, integrated circuits. Third generation computers use the integrated circuits, microchip instead of transistor. ट्रान्झिस्टरच्या ऐवजी आता काय आलं, IC आल्या. सेमीकंडक्टर IC पॅक a huge number of transistor. ट्रान्झिस्टर कुठे होते त्याच्यात, जेव्हा आपण IC म्हणतो त्या IC काय असते, IC ट्रान्झिस्टर, कॅपॅसिटर, डायोड, रेक्टिफायर्स are packed on a single germanium or silicon chip that is called as IC. That's why the name is integrated circuit. Okay? The implementation of these computers was also in line with Moore's laws in 1965, which observed that transistor size was shrinking so fast that double the number would fit into the new microchips every 2 years for 10 years to come. म्हणजे काय झालं, एका मायक्रोचिप वर कितीतरी हजार ट्रान्झिस्टर, कॅपॅसिटर्स, रेक्टिफायर्स आपण एका सिंगल सिलिकॉन चिप वर टाकू शकतो. म्हणजे त्यात असतात जनरली. ओके, म्हणजे एका आयसी मध्ये तुम्ही जर विचार केला की जरी ट्रान्झिस्टर असू शकतात, कॅपॅसिटर सर्किटरी असू शकते, रेक्टिफायर सर्किटरी असू शकते, डायोडची सर्किटरी असते. ओके, सो दिस इज द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ स्मॉल चिप. बघा आपण आयसी बघतो, या आयसीचं एज असं आलं. The IC sought to solve the cumbersome procedures that went into designing the transistor circuit. Okay. Then, and we have seen that these are the different things. What are the saline features that we will see directly of the ICs? Characteristics of the third generation computer that we will see that it uses the ICs, it uses the parallel processing. They are slightly smaller and cheaper, but they are faster. Now the use of motherboard came into existence. In order to enter the data, keyboard came into existence. Output can be visualized now on monitors. Use operating system, thus permitting multitasking. Simplified programming language, that is BASIC. Okay. The next generation of mainframe and supercomputers took advantage of this IC. Scientific Data Systems Sigma 7, that is the mainframe computer, and IBM 360 and CDC 8600 supercomputers were example of this system. म्हणजे थर्ड जनरेशन मध्ये काय झालं, पॅरलल प्रोसेसिंग आली आणि तेव्हापासूनच सुपर कम्प्युटरला म्हणजेच पॅरलल प्रोसेसिंगला सुरुवात झाली. कारण आयसी सर्किटरी आल्यानंतर वेगवेगळ्या कंपन्यांनी काय केलं की पॅरलल प्रोसेसिंग वर काम करणं सुरू केलं. आणि त्यातलेच एक्झाम्पल आहे की IBM 360, PDP, IBM 370. These are the third generation computers. Now, fourth generation computers actually starts in the era of 1970 onwards. Our C language is also in that era. That is in 1972. Dennis Ritchie at AT&T Bell Laboratories in USA, who has developed one language that is called as C language. C language is called as low-level language. Along with that, you can develop software in that C language also. That's why C language is called as mid-level language. That means most of the time you observe that की काही ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम इव्हन सी लँग्वेज मध्ये बनवलेलं आहे. तुमची अँड्रॉइड ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम कशात बनलेली आहे? सी मध्ये बनलेली. युनिक्स ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम मॅक्सिमम 80% कोड इज ऑफ सी लँग्वेज. जर आपलं मीटिंग 2-3 मिनिटात किंवा 5 मिनिटात संपत असेल तर परत तुम्हाला रिजॉईन व्हायचं आहे. ओके, फोर्थ जनरेशन ऑफ कॉम्प्युटर्स is the generation of microprocessors, operating system, and GUI. What is GUI?
काय
ग्राफिकल युजर इंटरफेस.
कारण जनरली थर्ड जनरेशन पर्यंत ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम कोणती होती? DOS, disk operating system. Whatever things you have to type, you have to give the command. प्रत्येक गोष्ट तुम्हाला कमांड द्यावं लागेल. परंतु या इरापासून काय आलं? ग्राफिकल युजर इंटरफेस केम इनटू एक्झिस्टन्स. These are the surrounding features of fourth generation computers. मग तुम्हाला विचारलं की कुठल्या कुठल्या मायक्रो प्रोसेसर आहे? इंटेल ही जी अशी सिरीज आहे की इंटेलची सिरीज 4004, 8008, 8080, 8085, 8086, 80286, 80386, 80486, 80586 न म्हणता त्या कम्प्युटरला काय म्हणतो आपण आता? पेंटियम. काय म्हणतो? पेंटियम. पेंटियम 1, पेंटियम 2, पेंटियम 3, पेंटियम 4, पेंटियम 5 आहे की नाही? म्हणजे या ज्या मायक्रो प्रोसेसरच्या चिप्स आहेत या इंटेलनी 4004 ही सगळ्यात पहिली चिप होती. नंतर त्याची 8008, 8080, 885, 8086, 80286 याला काय म्हणतात? 80286 ला आपण काय म्हणतो? पेंटियम सिरीज त्यावेळेस नव्हती आली. त्याला 286 ला पण एक्सटेंडेड व्हर्जन कम्प्युटर पण असतो. 386, 486, 586 ला 586 न म्हणता इंटेल पेंटियम सिरीज कम्प्युटर 1 असं त्याला नाव आहे. ओके, सो दॅट इरा स्टार्ट्स. सो दिस इज द ऍक्च्युअली द इंटेल मायक्रोप्रोसेसर चिप 4004 C4004. याला किती पिन होत्या बघ? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 8, 16. मग जसं जसं मायक्रोप्रोसेसर एनहान्स होत गेले तसं तसं तुमच्या मायक्रोप्रोसेसरच्या चिपच्या पिन वाढत गेल्या. पिन वाढत गेल्या म्हणजे काय? त्याचे जे ऍडिशनल काम करण्याची जी पद्धत होती ती वाढत गेली, कपॅसिटी वाढत गेली. आपण जेव्हा म्हणतो की 40 पिन आहे तेव्हा त्याच्यापेक्षा जास्त पिन मायक्रोप्रोसेसर आहे. म्हणजे प्रत्येक पिनला काही टास्क असाइन केलेले. ओके, सो दिस पिन आर नॉट ओनली फॉर द सेक ऑफ फिक्सिंग दॅट, इट हॅज ऍक्च्युअली द फंक्शन. सम पिन्स आर ऍक्सेप्टिंग व्होल्टेज, सम pins are doing the different tasks, another pin is doing the different tasks. That means small work, that is millions of instructions per second that microprocessor chip has to carry out. That means you have to see that what is the work of that microprocessor, and that's why it is called as brain of computer. That's why it is called as brain of computer.
चलो ठीक है.
बघा तुमचं हे Xerox Alto, arguably first PC that is developed in 1973. That is shown over here. Vivek Paigan, please mute yourself. Paigan. So this is the example of a computer, personal computer with all the facilities. This is the keyboard, this is the mouse, this is the monitor, CPU, microprocessor inside, operating system inside. Okay, all this is complete computer came into existence. Along with that microprocessor chip, also different versions of the computer. Macintosh computer also came into existence. Graphical user interface was the one of the features of this computer. Microcomputer and disk operating system came into existence. So these are the different computers of that era that you are observing in front of you. Okay. This is the graphical user interface. As I have told you that MS Windows 3.11 कुठली ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम होती सगळ्यात पहिले मायक्रोसॉफ्टची विंडोज 3.11. Actually it was not application. It is not operating system. It was one of the application of DOS at that time. Okay. So different operating system came into browsers came into existence. Went to Mozilla Firefox, OpenOffice, MySQL, VLC Media Player. That small but very interesting multimedia contents are introduced with this personal computer. So these are the examples of popular personal computers category. As we call it as a desktop, somebody calls it all-in-one, somebody calls it laptop, workstations, laptops, tablets, smartphones. आपण बघतोय की सगळ्या ठिकाणी आता मायक्रो प्रोसेसर आलेले आहे. So microprocessor moved out of the reserved desktop computers into other platforms of the business and homes. First was the laptop, followed by tablets, then by smartphone, then the different consoles, embedded systems. Embedded systems as you have used in your washing machine, every electronic gadget that is having the microcontroller. These devices increase the need to use the internet while on the move. The proliferation of the mobile computing device soon cut off the dominance of the desktop. Okay, म्हणजे या फोर्थ जनरेशन कम्प्युटरचे कॅरेक्टर्स काय? It used the CPU which contain thousands of transistors. Basically that contains microprocessors. Were much smaller and fitted on desktop. Yes, Gaikwad. Yes, Gaikwad. Please mute yourself. Yes, Gaikwad. Gaikwad. So the implementation is what? Fourth industrial revolution. Implementation is designed to improve the human and machine interaction by harnessing human intelligence and taking advantage of the large data that has accumulated since the dawn of the digital age. It is viewed as a cyber physical system and arises from the theory concept and implementation of AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Along with that, deep learning also. AI and ML. AI is what? Artificial intelligence. ML is what? Machine learning. May not be the same, but are used interchangeably to mean the science of crafting devices and programs which are intelligent enough to interact with the humans. Just like what number of times you have heard different examples of AI along with ML, machine learning. Number of gadgets nowadays are available. Alexa is there. Google's different gadgets are available. Okay, different robots are there that are made by Honda, that are made by different companies, IBM, that are made by different prestigious companies in the Europe and Americas. Okay, which are intelligent enough to interact with the humans and other computers. The environment and the programs by mining big data to achieve the desired goals. So basically, these are called as fifth generation computers. These are called as fifth generation computers. As you know that number of companies, they have started projects. As you know that Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, and Tesla, they have implemented that technology of AI and ML. So these are the examples in front of you. That is Coral, read version of Global or Google smart speaker Google example. Coral. Alexa is there. The larger goal in AI is to improve or induce the devices to understand the natural language. If suppose I am speaking something on a Google convert my speech to text. Whatever it has to search on the server, it searches that. Again, that text is converted to voice and vice versa. That means recognition of the human speech, conversion of that human speech to text and vice versa. Understanding different natural languages. If suppose I am saying something in English, that can be converted to French, that can be converted to Japanese, that can be converted to Germanese. Like that, see the world in three-dimensional perspective. Play interactive games, implement expert input in medical and other complex fields. That means they are providing expertise. As you know, this era of multi or telemedicines, how that telemedicine is working. Implement expert input in medical and other complex fields. Exercise heuristic classifications analysis. Implement neural networks, just like of a human being. Computers artificial neural network will work. Computers convolution neural network will work. Computers recurring neural network will work. Okay, these are the different advantages of AI and ML. Other areas which are general towards making AI possible are the developments in quantum computing, parallel processing in supercomputer, ongoing AI projects, virtual personal assistant, in general, Siri, Google Now, and Brena. Smart cars that are nowadays you're observing that Tesla is one of the companies, autopilot car, and Google's self-driving cars. New generation tools like Wordsmith are used by Yahoo and Fox to generate new snippets. These are the different ongoing AI projects. No company is untouched with this technology of AI and ML. That means Google is so ahead, Microsoft, IBM, these companies are so ahead. Tesla, that is making autopilot cars. Google, they are having their self-driving cars. Okay, so these are the things that are going. This is the Sophia, the robot full interlude. When you observe this is a robot. हे काय आहे? रोबोट आहे. सोफिया काय आहे? It is a robot. Just giving you one. It permit me to open. I am showing you how robot is talking.
सर आवाज नाही येत आहे.
येस, आवाज नाही येत.
नाही सर.
हॅलो
सर आवाज नाही येते.
you simply hello
सर
just
आवाज नाही
visit
येत आहे.
that interview with lifeline hot robot named Sophia. That is CNBC has taken the interview. Okay, you see that interview on the YouTube. प्रत्येक जणांनी ते बघायला पाहिजे. ठीक आहे, आवाज नाही येत म्हणता तुम्ही?
नो
येस और नो?
नो सर.
ठीक आहे, आवाज नाही येत तर तुम्ही हा YouTube वर बघून घ्यायचा. ओके, so this is the Sophia robot is talking to CNBC. So this is all about your generation of the computers. Okay, so everyone's, I am just insisting that you are in the first year and you know that NPTEL is one website. NPTEL ही एक वेबसाइट आहे. या NPTEL च्या प्रोग्राम मध्ये इंजिनिअरिंग स्टुडंट साठी वेगवेगळे कोर्सेस अवेलेबल आहेत. स्वयं प्लॅटफॉर्म वर वेगवेगळे कोर्सेस आहेत. तुम्हाला ते रजिस्टर करायचे आहे. लास्ट डेट 20 जानेवारी आहे. 20 जानेवारीच्या आत यू रजिस्टर फॉर दॅट कोर्स. आणि मी जी वेबसाईट सांगतो त्या वेबसाईट वर जायचंय प्रत्येकाने. ओके, आणि त्या वेबसाईट वर गेल्यावर त्या वेबसाईट वर तुम्हाला रजिस्टर करायचंय. ओके, मी ती वेबसाईट सांगतोय ते लिहून घ्या. आय एम जस्ट टायपिंग स्वयं. चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये मी टाईप करतोय SWAYAM swayam.gov.in. Okay, this is the one thing. Then you can visit online courses or you just simply visit nptel.ac.in. यामध्ये ऑनलाईन कोर्सेस वेगवेगळे आहेत. तुमच्या चॉईस नुसार तुम्हाला जर सी लँग्वेजचा कोर्स करायचा असेल तर यू कॅन जॉईन द सी लँग्वेज कोर्स. याच्यात IIT चे व्हिडिओ देतात तुम्हाला. तुमचं लॉग इन होते आणि आफ्टर लॉग इन त्या कोर्सचे सगळे कंटेंट दिले जातात. तुम्हाला व्हिडिओ प्रोव्हाइड केले जातात. वीकली असाइनमेंट्स असते, ते असाइनमेंट सॉल्व्ह करायचे आणि एक एक्झाम होते ऑनलाईन. त्याची फी 1000 रुपये असते. त्याची सगळी माहिती तुम्हाला याच्यावर दिलेली आहे. तर उद्यापर्यंत मला जवळपास सगळ्या लोकांनी, सगळ्या स्टुडंटनी ऍटलिस्ट सी लँग्वेज हे कंपल्सरी आहे प्रत्येकाला. त्यात कोर्स आहे सी लँग्वेजचा. हा सी लँग्वेजचा कोर्स प्रत्येकाने कंपल्सरी करायचा आहे. आणि या व्यतिरिक्त एखादा ऐच्छिक कोर्स 2 वीकचा 4 वीकचा त्यावर वेगवेगळे कोर्सेस आहेत. तुम्ही चॉईस बघा अकॉर्डिंग टू युअर चॉईस. वन कंपल्सरी कोर्स इज फॉर सी लँग्वेज बिकॉज यू हॅव सी लँग्वेज इन युअर सिलेबस. ओके, so everyone has to register this. This is the nptel.ac.in or swayam.gov.in. Everyone has to register today and give me your confirmation. Yes sir, I have joined the courses. First is what? C language or introduction to C language is compulsory. Also, I am telling you that you should purchase one book, that is Yashwant Kanekar. Let us see. That will be Bible for you. Even after completion of your engineering, that book will be very useful. Read each and everything from that book. Most of the questions in the placement are asked on C language and data structure. C language मध्ये मॅक्सिमम क्वेश्चन हे इंटरव्ह्यू मध्ये विचारले जातात. तुम्हाला सी लँग्वेज ही चांगली आली तर बाकीच्या लँग्वेजेस सुद्धा चांगल्या येऊ शकतात. ओके.
सर बुकचं नाव सांगा परत.
टीचर टाईप करतो मी. लेट अस सी बाय यशवंत कानेटकर. It is a BTB publication. Very nice book and it should be always with you.